So this next portion of the show is a selection of news items that all involves one thing: race, and the sheer stupidity of it. And it began with Confederate generals and quickly escalated to Columbus and former US presidents, and now the monument removal crusade has started coming for Jesus, with racial activist Shaun King insisting his depictions are racist propaganda. And he said, yes, I think the statues of the white European they claim is Jesus should also come down. They are a form of white supremacy and always have been. And he also argued that all murals and stained glass windows of white Jesus and his European mother and their white friends should also come down, calling them a gross form of white supremacy, tools of oppression and racist propaganda. Now, the FBI is investigating several recent incidents of racist emails being sent to thousands of affiliates of major institutions, including Harvard, Stanford, Iowa State University, according to multiple reports. Now, around 4,900 individuals with Iowa State University email accounts were sent messages supposedly from Equity Prime Mortgage offering loans to whites only and making racist threats against black individuals. Now, the Harvard Crimson reported Monday that thousands of Harvard-affiliated individuals received the same email, and the Stanford Daily reported that the emails were sent out to 3,600 Stanford University affiliates, and affiliates of the University of Michigan were also targeted. Now, Harold Reed, a media strategist, which is interesting in and of itself, representing Equity Prime Mortgage, told the Harvard Crimson that the company was working with the FBI to investigate the emails which were sent following a compromise of Equity Prime Mortgage systems. What I'm suggesting with these emails that were sent to those organizations, and they were involved in sending them. Particularly Harvard and Stanford. We've covered them recently in several shows and who they are connected to. All designed to escalate it. And then we had Clothhead people. Lincoln County, Oregon, please take a bow, has exempted non-white people from a new order requiring that face coverings be worn in public to prevent racial profiling. So what you're telling me is you can't see a person's black with a mask on. You ever heard such rubbish in all your life? Now, health officials announced last week residents must wear face coverings in public settings where they may come within 6 feet of another individual not from the same household. But people of colour do not have to follow the new rule if they have, quote, heightened concerns about racial profiling and harassment over wearing the masks, according to officials. No person shall intimidate or harass people who do not comply, according to the health officials in Lincoln County, Oregon. With mask requirements becoming more common, activists have raised concerns that the directives could put non-white people in danger. Really? For many black people, deciding whether or not to wear a bandana in public to protect themselves and others from contracting coronavirus is a lose-lose situation that can result in life-threatening consequences either way, according to Renika Moore, director of the ACLU's Racial Justice Program, who then went on to CNN to spout her drivel. And Trevon Logan, who is black, said orders to face or to wear face covering were basically telling people to look dangerous given racial stereotypes that are out there. Well, also rubbish. And then we had this. A white Macy's employee was brutally assaulted by a black man in the middle of a store a few days ago, and video showed that the assailant, Demir Palmer, punching the man in the head as he crawls on the ground, begging for him to stop. Now, the assailant's brother, who filmed the crime and posted it proudly to social media, beggars belief he should be charged for aiding and abetting, in my opinion. These people who stand there filming it, not intervene. Made claims that the victim used the N-word. And even if that was true, it wouldn't remotely justify of what was a fairly vicious assault and a felony. But according to all reports, it wasn't true at all, and Macy's investigated and confirmed that the attack was unprovoked, and also that the N-word claim is absurd on its face. And the Macy's employee was not going to casually refer to his black customers as racial slurs. And they said if he had that habit, he would have been fired a long time ago. And what actually took place on the looks of it is that Palmer's brother selected a victim based on his race, beat him mercilessly, and then slandered him. They damaged him physically and then tried to ruin his life. And if the hate crime designation has any meaning, it should fit the bill. And yet to this point, no hate crime charges have been filed, nor has there been any public discussions about filing them. Well, this is the latest Macy's assault, not offensive physical contact due to the attacker's perception of the victim's race. And then we come to this group. And this is, once I've read these few pieces out, you'll see it's organised. This is not random. And this is where I'm coming from. Numerous groups are hunting down, humiliating and ruining the lives of pupils who say a wrong thing, express support for the police, or simply stay silent. And morally illiterate teachers and schools are encouraging it, it is said. But a 16-year-old organiser of Smithtown racist call-out brags about outing peers for making racist comments online in order to prevent them from going to college. Then you know something really scary is going on, and this is organised. The question is, by whom? But it has come to light that there are now numerous groups of teenagers in the United States who are devoted to the project of exposing and humiliating other children whose remarks they perceive as racist or problematic. Anonymous Instagram accounts devoted to calling out racist comments made by fellow students have appeared in the United States, and within a few hours, one such account launched at San Marcos High School in California attracted around 900 new followers. Everything that goes viral means it is a program and is run by the clowns. Everything. And the aim of these students is not only to punish and humiliate, but also to ruin the future prospects of someone who made a racist or alleged racist comment. And they hope that one outcome of their exposure will be to prevent their target from gaining acceptance into the university. Individual would-be vigilantes also joined in the game of outing alleged racist teenagers, and one Instagram account run by a white British male who supports BLM states, "We don't condone racism. DM us any information on these racist thugs." Now, youthful vigilantes, police and social media are often far too ready to interpret people's remarks as evidence of their racism, and all it takes is for a post to be deemed insensitive before those people are all condemned as racist. And invariably what happens is it's calling someone out serves as an invitation to these other private accounts to then mob them like a playground pylon. And children are facing the wrath of these vigilante peers, can easily feel intimidated and socially isolated, according to the school authorities. And Brianna Barry, 16, a student at Catholic Day School in Jacksonville, Florida, was called out for advocating the Blue Lives movement on Instagram and TikTok. Blue Lives. I think that's to do with marine animals. And labelled racist. Now, this teenager, whose dad is a police officer, swiftly became the target of a hate campaign, and she noted that her own friends were commenting that I was a racist and that therefore they could not support her. "Things travel fast," they said, "and I'm nervous about my address being leaked," she noted, for following a marine program. And then we had a banner that was flown over an English soccer stadium last week, stating 4-0. Oh no, it didn't state that. Well, perhaps it did. But it also stated White Lives Matter, and was condemned by the media, the coaches, the players and the government as racist and inappropriate. And then the bot elements of the public jumped on the bandwagon, as it's safety in numbers with them, all condemning it. And there you have it. There is the whole news. 3 main stories: virus, race, and someone stole our money. Oh my. Langley scriptwriters must have been furloughed as well, unless they were redeployed to the various fact-checkers groups all over social media these days. Now, in an up-and-coming show, we will reveal how this mind-controlling events unfold and who does it. But this is what we have warned of in several shows over the past 2 years. They would roll out the racial division card, and the moronic elements of our society have bought into it, not realising they're all running a programme that's going to work against them, not for them. But the very fact that the media is backing it tells you there and then it is a programme the media are running for the clowns and not the people. And the non-thinking people have bought into it, what is quite frankly the most idiotic repeat after me script ever. But apparently white lives don't matter. Apparently yellow lives don't matter. Apparently native lives don't matter. And apparently Hispanic lives don't matter either. Only Jewish and black lives matter is essentially what the increasing idiotic and desperate media and authorities are telling us. and some with a chip on their shoulder jackasses are going along with it. But the Black Lives Matter is another distraction and has all the hallmarks of the Jewish persecution and Holocaust programming. The term Black Lives Matter is an out-and-out racist statement. Nothing more, nothing less. You are the only ones persecuted. Check. We need reparation money. Check. Said reparation money or donations does not go to the peoples. Check. Are you seeing the pattern now? Over 100 million has been collected for Black Lives Matter, and the bulk of it went to the DNC party. Oh, the irony of that. And a giant piss take on the black people who are falling for this rubbish. Remember, the militia arm or military arm of the Democrat Party was called the KKK. Oops. Another organisation said to be against the black people, but were used in a reverse psychology plan to get blacks to hate on the whites. This is how these people operate. That was the program of the KKK, and I'm not saying by any means that all in that group were following that program. Because clearly they weren't, because the treatment of blacks in this country up to the 1970s was beyond shocking as an observer from the UK. Anti-black marches, largely made up of women and children, spewing their hatred. White-only faucets, toilets, shops, bars and restaurants was a shame and a blight on this country that has taken a few generations to correct. So if you think my reference between blacks and Jewish is racist or unfair, here is a reminder of why it is not. Judge for yourselves. If these words said over 100 years ago has and is playing out now. This was said by a lead Jewish think tank based person in 1912 called Israel Cohen. We must realise that our party's most powerful weapon is racial tensions. By propounding into the consciousness of the dark races that for centuries they have been oppressed by whites, we can mould them into the programme of the Communist Party. And for those new, communist and communism was created by the Zionist sub-grey group, known today as Jews. But I must stress, not all Jews. And communism is nothing to do with Russia, nothing to do with China, Cuba or Vietnam either. He went on, we will invest to instill in the whites a guilt complex over their exploitation of the Negroes. We will aid the Negroes to rise in prominence in every walk of life, in the professions and in the world of sports and entertainment. With this prestige, the Negro will be able to intermarry with the whites and begin a process which will deliver America to our cause. And there you have it. Hating on people because they're a different colour. Really. And yet this is the same country who shouts the loudest for ET's meet and greet. But if you can't get on with your own species because they're a different colour, why on earth would you wish to meet something that was from another world? More is the point, why would they want to bother to come here? And perhaps the best description for this for harmony is based on the humble piano instrument. Whites, are you going to just play the white keys? Or are the blacks only going to play the softer flat tone keys of the black keys? Well, you're not going to play many songs doing that, are you? And the only way to get a beautiful tune out of a piano is to use both sets of keys and create harmony. And it's something we the people need to grasp and follow, and tell the racist script writers to go and fuck themselves. Sideways up the jacksie.